Listen, your financial planner would absolutely hate if you learned the wheel strategy and how to actually run it for yourself. In today's video, I'm gonna give you guys a crash course on how to run the wheel strategy on Robinhood and give you guys some of my favorite stocks to do it on. Let's go. All right, guys, now before we get going on this full Robinhood tutorial on how to sell puts, sell calls, and run this amazing wheel strategy, I want to let you guys know one lucky commenter down below will win a free option strategy call with me where we can hop on and talk all things options. Nothing to pitch you here. Everything is completely for free to educate you on this absolutely amazing strategy that is called the wheel. And I've kind of took my own little spin on this, and I call this the quad option strategy. And you're going to really have a deeper understanding of why I call it the quad option strategy. Essentially, it's because we collect 4 different sources of income through this strategy. Okay, so first and foremost, right, where we're going to start this video and this tutorial is I'm going to assume you already opened up a Robinhood account. All right, so go ahead and open up a Robinhood account if you didn't do one. I don't have an affiliate link for you here even. Right, go find another guru or whatever you want to call them and use their link if you want to. All right, that's not what this video is about. It's for you guys to really have a deep level understanding of how to do this stuff no matter what brokerage you're doing, but we'll be sticking with Robinhood. Okay, so first and foremost, we need to go find a stock to do this on. Okay, now the one thing I do recommend you guys do is go take a look at MSN Money. I personally love having my watch lists on MSN Money. And the reason for that is because it gives me a high level overview every single morning of what's going on with all the companies I like to run options on. So for example, you're seeing on your screen here, I just have it sorted by, last price right here. And what I like to do every morning is I just look at the daily change, right? I want to see companies that are either popping off, right? Like they're popping off, or they're going lower. Right? Quick writer downer here for you. Okay, this is a quick writer downer. Trust me, we'll get into the Robinhood so you guys can see a full tutorial on this. When you are selling puts, right, you want it to be a red day. Okay, so like for example, Rocket Lab right here, right? This would be a day that I would potentially go sell puts on Rocket Lab. Now, if a stock is popping off, right? It's running. For example, let's say Nike. Let's just say Intel. Even though I'm kind of trying to avoid Intel. Intel right here is running up. This would be a day that I sell covered calls on. Well, what is the actual difference? So I put a little graphic. I have a couple graphics, I hope that's okay, that we're going to go over real quick first. I think it's really important for you guys to understand what we're doing, not just go to the chain and start making potential mistakes, right? The last thing I want to see any of you do is lose money, okay? We don't want to lose money here. So I put a couple screenshots together to help you guys out so we can have a basic understanding of what we're doing, okay? Very basic understanding. So what we are doing here is we are selling calls and we are selling puts, all right? That's what we're doing. We are staying away from buying. Buying options is a gamble. It's an absolute gamble. 9 out of 10, probably more, like 9.9 humans that do buying options lose money. You know what? Go make your own mistakes and you'll come back to me. And I'm not going to say it, but I want to say it. I'm going to say I told you so. All right. But you got to go make your own. You got to go make your own financial decisions. If you're trusting XYZ guru he's going to tell you to go buy options and follow his trade signals. Listen, you're already lost. I've lost you. But go ahead. Go do it. Go lose some of your money and then come back over to this channel because everything here is free. And I'm here to actually show you the strategy that is like the best one in terms of trading options. Okay. And then you can get it all for free and you can like start rebuilding your portfolio that you just burned. Okay. We're staying the hell away from buying calls and buying puts. Basically, what buying calls and buying puts means is you have the right to buy a stock at a specific strike price, right? You have the right but not obligation. We'll get into all this. I'm keeping this simple for you, right? And buying a put basically means you have the right to sell a stock at a specific strike price. One options contract is equal to 100 shares, okay? One contract is equal to 100 shares. So when you're buying a call or buying a put, you basically have a piece of paper that says, you know what? I'm in control of 100 shares. But for that piece of paper, right, you are paying a hefty premium for it, right? But you're not paying enough to, like, let's say it's American Airlines, right? That's trading around like $16 right now. You're not paying like $1,600 to control 100 shares. It's much less than that. That's what makes buying calls and puts very appealing to a lot of people, because it might only cost you, a couple $100, and you control 100 shares of a company. If it goes up, you could sell it and make a massive profit. It's gambling. We're the house. Right? We're the house. We are sellers, right? So selling calls and selling puts, that's what we're doing. So selling a call means you have the obligation to sell a stock at a strike price. You have the obligation to sell a stock at a strike price. It's going to make sense. I promise you, stick with me till the end. I promise you, you're going to understand all this stuff. Selling puts, right, is you have the obligation to buy a stock at a strike price, okay? We're going to come back to this in a second. I want to go full circle here. This is an easy way to do it. When you are buying calls and buying puts, you are paying your money, your hard-earned money. You're paying a premium to be able to control those 100 shares. With selling calls and selling puts, you are collecting premium. You are collecting income directly into your account, into your brokerage account. You're being given money. Those buyers that are paying this premium, they are giving that money to you as income, as cash immediately, right? So I think the easiest way for us to proceed is we're going to go on the chain, and we're going to do a basic understanding of what we're talking about here. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to show you how to sell a put on, specifically on Robinhood. So what do we do first? Well, I got to go find a stock that's tanking, baby, because that's the best time to do it, right? So let's go take a look. What's kind of hitting a little bit, getting beat up today. So Rocket Lab. Let's go take a look at Rocket Lab, RKLB. And we will take a look at Rocket Lab here. I'm going to go over to the trade options section, trade options, right? And we, again, are selling a put, right? Stay away from buying options. Go do it if you want to go lose money, and then you can come back here and I'll say, I told you so, all right? But here we're going to click sell, and then we're going to sell a put. Sell put, cash secured put. It's the same exact thing. Don't let anybody confuse you, okay? Here's now where we're selecting our expiration date. The expiration date basically is saying, hey, the date that we are willing to buy those 100 shares of stock. It'll all make sense in a second, I promise you. I like to usually go 30 to 45 days out. I'm just going to go 31 days out, which is March 14th. Now what you're seeing is the options chain. This is the strike price right here on the left side that you would be buying it at. That you're saying on March 14th, let's say, for example, this one. On March 14th, if Rocket Lab is $27, I am willing to buy 100 shares of it, okay? So we're going to click into this, right? And you can see this number 233 right here. We're going to click it. Basically, that means you're getting $2.33 as credit per share. Remember, it's 100 shares. So times that by 100, you will collect $233 today, right? As your credit. So $232.96, right? Just because of the fee. So what we're going to do next, okay, we're just going to put this into our calculator. All right, so this is our Super Simple Man's covered calls, or a cash secured put calculator. You can download it for free. So it's inside our Facebook group. So it's all free. Again, down below in the description. I post my live trades there every morning as well. So $233 in premium, right? We're collecting. What's our collateral, right? The collateral is how much money you have to potentially have to buy those 100 shares. So look, Robinhood or any brokerage ain't gonna let you, some broke person, come in here and start collecting these juicy premiums if you ain't got the money to back it up. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't taking that risk. So that means Robinhood's like, yo, you want to open up this put, you want to sell this put right now and get this nice juicy premium, right? Well, your ass better have $2,700, right? Because if this actually hits $2,700, you need to actually buy 100 shares, right? So we're going to go right here, and we're going to put our collateral as $2,700, right? You will need $2,700 to do it. I mean, come on. 8.63% return in 31 days. Annualized, 100% return. Now, okay, some of you are going to be, you're going to be blind. You're going to be premium blinded, right? And you're going to want to start premium chasing. And we are the premium chasers here, of course. But this is a riskier company, right? So again, I'm just showing you guys, all these are all hypothetical examples, but to show you, right, most of the time, right, if you're going after these kind of more high volatility companies, you're going to have great premiums, great monthly returns. But again, you're most likely going to be assigned, right? As opposed to if you do, like, for example, let's just close out our cash secured put here. if you go to like, let's say a Coca-Cola, right? A very for the most part, stable company, right? And if we go over to our trade options here, we'll sell a put, we'll go out to that same date, right? And you could see, let's say we want to buy these $65, right? Say, March 14th rolls around and we're totally willing to buy Coca-Cola for $65, right? 100 shares at $65, right? We would only collect $55. So what does that do, right? $55 we'd only collect today as cash into our brokerage account. Our collateral, is a lot higher, right? So 65 times 100, right, is $6,500, right? That we would be tying up here for those 30 days. You're only getting a 0.85% return on a month. Now, there's a few reasons for that, right? The reason that's happening is Coca-Cola is popping off right now. So if Coca-Cola was down 3% right now, that premium would be hella juicier, right? But this is why it's important to be patient in this game. Wait for red days to sell your puts. Wait for green days to sell your calls. So let's just go back over to Rocket Lab. Because I do love Rocket Lab. I do. So again, what we're saying here, and just to recap it, is that we are willing, right? Sell put, and we'll go back to where exactly we were. We are willing to purchase, right, Rocket Lab at $27. You will need to put up collateral of $2,700. That means kind of like Robinhood, your brokerage, will put it on the side, right? It's going to make sure you have that money either on margin or in cash to make sure that you're actually able to purchase this if it gets to that point. Now, a few things can happen, okay? A few things can happen, right? Let me kind of draw all this out again onto our thing. So actually, the premiums are just getting nice. So let's go back here. You're collecting $240 on $2,700. I'm just gonna put one here. This is only if you're buying multiple contracts that I have here. And again, I just keep it simple. That's why I need simple. All right. So 8.89% return in 31 days on our collateral. Right. A few things can happen. All right. You can just let it ride till March 31st. What's the date? March 14th, right? You could let this thing ride out, and let's say March 14th rolls around. Rocket Lab stays above $27 a share. All right, your option expires worthless, and you just run the play on another. You just go sell puts on another company. You go to your watch list. You go find another company that's tanking, and run it again and collect more premium and run it again. All right, easy. Here's a graphic that I've created for you. I like visuals. I hope that's cool. I think that's going to help you out. All right. This is the wheel. Okay. Where are we? We're selling puts right now. Did we get a sign at that point? Yes or no? Right now I'm saying no, right? Rocket Lab stayed, above 97. So it's a no. So we go back and we sell another put. Maybe we do it on Rocket Lab again. Maybe we find another company that's tanking even harder, right? And then if we get assigned, cool. I'm going to show you that's a covered call sign in a second. There are a few things you can do over the course of the next 30 days, okay? Number one, you could just go and just let your option go for the 31 days and see whatever happens, happens. If you buy it, fantastic. If you don't buy, your option expires worthless. With cash secured puts, what I like to do is manage them. So once I collect a good amount of the premium, I will make a decision to either to close it out early. And here's how I decide. Let's say next week, some crazy news comes out about Rocket Lab. They get some insane contract, right? Their rockets are going crazy, right? Like whatever. Some crazy news comes out and it just blows Rocket Lab up. It shoots up like 10, 20, 30%, whatever, right? Like a week later, 2 weeks later, your options contract will start basically becoming worthless, right? Time is on your favor, right? So it starts becoming pretty much worthless at that point. So what the market will actually do for you, it'll say, hey, you can close out this contract. If you close it out, your collateral's freed up to again go sell puts on other stuff, but you're gonna have to give us some of that premium back. You're gonna have to give me some of that money back that I gave you, right? So right here is a premium. So in this specific case right here, let's say 2 weeks from now, again, Rocket Lab, great news, it pops off, and the market's saying to you, hey, you know what, give us 40 of that back. Give us $40 back, and, we'll call it even, and you can move on we'll release your collateral, and you can go do whatever you want to do with it, right? So I'll put $200 here. And what I'm looking for is, hey, does it make sense, right? Does it make sense for me to free up my collateral? So a few things you want to change when you're in this calculator, right? So my monthly return will be lower right now, right? It's showing return is lower, but remember, right? Change your expiration here, right? So let's say in 14 days this happens, or we'll just say 21 days. This all happens in 3 weeks time, right? I'm going to look at the annual return side. Is my annual return here higher than my annual return here? Right? So if they're telling me, let's say, hey, we want more, right? We want $140. So that means, let's say, you're only keeping, let's say just 200, right? Or so you're keeping only $140. In this case, I wouldn't close that out, right? If I'm only able to keep $140 in that premium and I've held it, it's a 21 day to expiration, is kind of how I like to look at it. But my annual return, if I just held it for let's say, 10 more days, right? I would collect that full, right? But it's 90 here. So I wouldn't close it out early. Right. I have more videos on managing options. You can go check those out. But that's how I do it. For most of you, if you're kind of like really want to be more like passive, just let your thing ride out. If you love the company, you shouldn't mind owning it anyway. Okay. So let's move on to our next part. Right. So we're selling a put here. So let's say Rocket Lab actually does get to $27. Right, let's say Rocket Lab actually hits $27. $2,700 will be extracted from your account, and you will be handed your new shiny 100 shares of Rocket Lab. Fantastic, right? So that means, yes, you are assigned. The next step of the wheel is now we are selling a call. Right, we are selling a call. Now your collateral is different here now, right? Your collateral when you are selling a call is no longer going to be your money. It's going to be your shares. You're putting up your 100 shares now as collateral saying, hey, I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of Rocket Lab on X date for X price. And for that, you will collect an additional premium. So let's go take a look at an example. Now, obviously, these are all hypothetical examples, guys. I'm just going to pretend right now like that we have 100 shares of Rocket Lab, right? I'm just going to pretend like that, okay? So let's say we're on the option chain. We have 100 shares now. Let's say it was the day we were assigned. Now they're sitting in our account. We're going to click sell, and we're going to sell a call, right? Now we're going to go out 31 days, right? And here is where we are going to be able to select the price we want to sell them at, right? So right here, let's say we want to sell them for $30, right? Let's say we're totally fine selling our 100 shares for $30. Well, here's what the actual chain is telling us. Well, boom, we'll click this up. Click this, and you could see if we're willing. Now, this is kind of a bad example, but it's okay, I think, for the sake of it. You could see Rocket Lab's tanking today, so you would wait like a couple days until it's green to sell your covered calls. Right? I kind of hit on that a bunch of times already, but for the sake of this example, it's fine. The premiums are still insane, right? So we have our 100 shares. We're going to put one contract here, right? And then we're going to click review, and we can see we're going to collect a $293 premium. Now, I have another calculator to keep this extremely simple for us. Why are you in the trash, sir? Let's take you out of trash. So in our Rocket Lab, we are collecting $292, right? So, or $293, $293 in premium. What is the strike of the option? This, again, calculator is available in our Facebook group. Go join. Post the live trades there every single morning. What is our strike of our option? Okay, it's $30, right? $30, okay, very simple. $30. What is your purchase strike price? What is the strike price that you purchased your shares at? It was $27, remember? All right, we'll put $27 right here. And we can kind of start seeing what our return is going to look like here. Your premium return is basically, I kind of use this as like, hey, my shares as collateral, right? Because I'm putting up my shares as collateral, so I just take the value of them and just give myself the premium return on that, okay? So it's a great premium return. What's my profit on shares, right? Let's say, right, I open this. Let's say March 14th rolls around and Rocket Lab does hit $30. Let's say it does hit $30. Well, your shares will be sold for $30. Well, you bought them for $27. You sold them for $30. Okay, $3,000, right? For $2,700, how much money did you make? Well, you made an additional $300 on the appreciation sale, right? Which will bring your total profit to $593, right? You collected immediate premium of $293. You collected your profit on the shares for $300. And let's not forget the premium we collected here um, on our cash secured put. So if this trade fully runs out, right, fully plays itself out, you made $833 on what $2,700. Now, of course, I don't want to set you up for failure here, guys, or set up you with crazy expectation. Does this happen? Sometimes. Does it happen a lot? No. Usually what happens is you're seeing a mixture of wheels, right? So oftentimes you might sit here for a while in this part of the wheel where you're selling puts and you're just not getting assigned. You're just not getting assigned. If that's happening, you might want to consider going a little bit more aggressive. Like, for example, a lot of you that are beginning, maybe if you're doing like a sell a put here, right, you're probably going out too low. Like you're going down here for 22s, which again, it's most likely not going to get down there. So you're not going to get assigned, and you're still collecting, $81 in premium, which again, fantastic. You're making money still. But again, we want to be closer toward that money because listen, guys, this whole strategy, I call it quad options. The point is to get assigned, buy a company, and then sell it, right? Like you miss out. Like, look, for example, right? We would miss out on $300 on profit on our shares, right? We would have, we would have missed out on a nice chunk of change, right? So you do want to get assigned, but again, you might live here for a little bit here, waiting to get assigned. Eventually, you might get assigned, and guess what? You might live here for a little bit. You might live here for months. You might be selling calls. You're not getting sold, not getting sold. Now, trust me, dude, there's nothing sweeter than when this actually pulls off in less than a month. Let's say you were able to sell a put, you got assigned, a company blows up, and then you could like sell it. Like in this, it's fantastic. I love it. Like it's so great, right? When this actually all comes together. But usually it just takes some time, right? It might take 3-4 months for you to sell the put, get assigned, and then sell the call, and for the trade to kind of like complete itself, if so to speak. So here's how the whole quad option strategy fits together, right? And this is why I really stress this, and one of the reasons I started this channel is because, look, I talk my ear off to my friends and family about this strategy. Like, dude, like I've never felt so passionate about like telling people about something as this. I swear, like your financial advisor, if you ever had one, like would never tell you this because, dude, like it's not difficult to do this. It's not difficult, and the returns are awesome, especially if you're doing it on companies you love. You're deciding what price you want to purchase the company you want at, and you're getting paid for saying that. And then if you do buy it, fantastic. You can then sell your shares, right, and collect a premium for doing it. Like it's awesome. It's awesome. Like I hope this kind of like gives you a little bit of passion about it. So one, right, for the 4 kind of income streams that I like is cash secured puts, right? We're collecting premiums. Covered calls, we're collecting premiums. I like to do these on dividend paying stocks as well, because sometimes if I'm stuck here, right? If I'm stuck here selling calls on my company, right? If I'm stuck selling calls here, right? Let's say I'm stuck holding a company for years. It doesn't usually happen that long, right? But let's say I am. I'm still collecting a dividend from that company. I'm selling calls, right? And I'm collecting a dividend from that company. And then finally is, of course, the appreciation sale, actually selling your shares, being okay selling your shares and getting that appreciation sale. A couple quick rules, right, with this strategy. Number one, the point is to sell, right? So if you absolutely love your company, let's say you got these Apple shares, Tesla shares, and like such insane prices, go put it in your monthly buy portfolio, set it, forget it, and don't run this strategy. The point of this strategy is to be assigned and to sell shares and to make money through it. Like that is the point of this. Okay. So if you absolutely love a company and you'd be really, really sad if you sold it, don't run it on it, right? Because the point is to get assigned and sell and lock in gains. So many people, like I'll talk to on X and stuff, and I'm like, dude, like they fall so in love with this stock with their paper gains. Like I'm like, dude, like it ain't gains until you sell. Like that's what I'm in for, yo. Like I'm in to lock in gains every single month. That's the game I'm playing. All right. I'm not in the game of like holding a stock and then watching it. So like, sure, yes, my monthly buys, if they're like some companies and I feature on the channel where I have like my monthly buys and like like I'm leaving them in there, and I never want to sell them. Fantastic, right? But like this part of my portfolio, I got a plan and I'm sticking with it. All right, so stick to your plan. That is so key. If you decide to do this, make sure you stick to your plan. Don't be upset. Look, oh my God, don't be upset if your shares get called. Like for example, all right, we tangent now. Right? Let's say you did buy Rocket Lab at 27 and you had to sell it for 30. You know what very likely could have happened? Rocket Launch shot up to $50, $60, $100. Don't come to me complaining that you're like, oh, Pete, I could have made so much more money. I could have made so much more money. But I had to sell it at 30 because I was contractually obligated to sell it at 30, but it shot up to 50. Oh, I missed out on those gains. You got gains. It could have just as easily gone the other way. Stop complaining. Go find another opportunity. Sell puts, sell calls. That's what we do here. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Guys, go to the description, right? This is where I post a bunch of like plays and stuff that I'm posting, what I'm working on, all that good stuff, all the resources and stuff are in there. I'm here to help you guys out. So just go to the description. It'll be in there. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I will see you guys tomorrow.